all this, let's bring in former Ford CEO Mark Fields. He's also a CNBC contributor. Mark, great to have you with us. What's your take on what Mary Barra did today? I mean, does this give her at least a lifeline with investors? Karen was making the point that she's coming up on the 10-year anniversary. In that period of time, the stock is down 18%. Does this buy her more time to get things right at GM?
Well, I think she's making a statement, right? There's a lot of frustration. As was said earlier, I think she's done a very good job over the last decade running GM differently. But listen, there was a lot of investor concern coming out of the UAW negotiations around rising costs with labor, kind of slowing EV demand, which they put a lot of investment in, and just, overall higher interest rates and, what that means for demand going forward. So I think she really wanted to make the statement that says, listen, this stock is undervalued. And I think, as was mentioned earlier, she kind of put a floor on that. I think going forward, the frustration is, she has staked her reputation on the new EV and autonomous technologies. She's, had a messaging over the last couple of years of, listen, we're really becoming a tech company and not a traditional automaker. And they're having issues as they ramp up those technologies. And you have a big competitor like Tesla who, yes, their margins are down, but they're profitable. So I think that's the challenge in front of her. I think she has put a floor in, but they have not executed this year on, her two main pillars of her strategy. And that's going to be that's going to be a good barometer for her over the next year or two.
Do you think her days could be numbered?
Well, listen, every CEO serves at the pleasure of the board. I think she's done a wonderful job leading this company from where it was when she took it over. But listen, she has laid out a strategy and, laid out the capital along the lines of the future being in EVs. It's a bit of a risky strategy because if you look at companies like Toyota and Ford, they're investing a lot in hybrids, which is a nice step to electrification. But she skipped that. So if the demand is not there, once they master the production, they're going to have a lot of facilities that are going to be underutilized. And that's really going to hurt the profitability of the company. So I think she's got the time to prove it. But, you can't manage by press releases anymore around their EV announcements. They have to deliver in the next 18 months.
We are awaiting Elon Musk at the DealBook conference, Mark. So I do want to weave Tesla into this conversation because, part of the bear case against Tesla has always been that the OEMs will be stiff competition when it comes to EVs. Do you think that's still the case? Can you still make that argument? And when you say there's a lack of demand, is that lack of demand overall for EVs, that just hasn't lived up to the hype? Or is it lack of demand for what General Motors is producing or will produce?
Well, I think what Tesla has done very well over the last number of years is capture all the early adopters. Now you're getting to mass adoption. And, that really comes down to not only cost for those consumers, but convenience, particularly around charging. So I do believe it's not so much around, overall demand. I think the demand is going to be there. The issue, it's not going to come as fast as people expect. Because not only do the costs have to come down where they match ICE or internal combustion vehicle costs, but that charging infrastructure needs to be there. And on top of it, I do think the established automakers are going to figure out how to produce EVs in high quantities. But, again, Tesla has taken a very distinct strategy of integrating everything into their company and versus outsourcing. And that's an advantage for them right now. And that's why it's going to be a challenge for the automakers, but they got to get that charging infrastructure in there for, the average Joe sitting across the kitchen table with their spouse determining what they're going to spend and what they're going to buy. And consumers take the path of least resistance. And right now it's a bit of a challenge for consumers to consider EVs given the charging infrastructure.
How do you think the Cybertruck will do? From a demand perspective, and the manufacturing perspective, it sounds like it's a nightmare to manufacture. But just overall, what's your take?
Well, listen, it's a very polarizing product, right? You look at it and you either love it or you hate it.
Where do you fall?
Well, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like the design, but, I'm just a focus group of one. There's going to be plenty of Tesla fans that are going to want this vehicle. I think when you look at this, Melissa, the traditional pickup truck driver and consumer will not want this vehicle. I think this will be more for EV, early adopters, the casual kind of use buyer. But I think the real critical thing is for any car product, it's not the first year in terms of how successful it is. It's the second and third and fourth year in terms of, is this a fad product or does this product have legs? And so I think they're going to have problems, as you mentioned, ramping it up because it's a very difficult product to produce given the engineering and the design. The first year is going to be what it's going to be. But once they can start ramping, that's going to be the real barometer for this, of whether it's going to be a successful product or it's just going to look, in the dustbin of history as a fad.